Hi, everybody. This is day 1404. Let's see if everything's going right. Okay, it looks like it is. And we are at 1404 days since Richard was murdered, and we don't have his body. And I've been getting information that would make Richard MIA, which, is really interesting because when I was told, oh, Richard is probably an MIA, I was like, wow, that is strange. And Vicky, if you're out there, you will absolutely understand what I'm saying because we were in the truck with when we decided to call Danae Katzen to see if she was okay because we hadn't heard anything and we knew that there were leaks going on. We knew that the CID was up to no good, and so we were afraid for her life. And we called her up to make sure she was okay, and we talked to her. We didn't know that she was connected with Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia, Lalani Hart, Dallas Hart, 3905 Bliss Avenue, the Rochas, Melendez Mendez, and all of that. KTSM, David Candelara. We didn't know that that was all part of the deception. The deception. And so while we were talking to her, and I have the video, and I'll put that up. And I really should have done that today. We've been busy again with all this breaking news and responding to the breaking news. That is the most important part, is when you get breaking news, when you get the pieces, when you get the crumbs, and they tell a story, then you need to respond officially. And I don't, I was never like that. And at the beginning of this, I just trusted in the law enforcement community to do their job. I didn't realize that you would have to drive them to do their job by submitting criminal reports and leads and all of the information, the evidence, the amicus brief that we submitted, and on and on. I didn't know that you had to be relentless in the complaints and the communications in order for them to do their job. But that's the case. And so when you get, information and breaking news in that puts the pieces together of this criminal network, you have to submit it. And you have to know how to submit it. You have to know where to submit it. And, that at first it's a little daunting, but once you learn how, it gets easier and easier. And you have the snowball effect of justice. Justice, it moves very slowly, right? It moves very, very slowly. And then, but when it really starts to move, it grinds exceedingly fine. And, so to me, it's like this big snowball, and it gets bigger and bigger, and it just, it really does take down the criminals. And maybe I should make a meme like that, Well, maybe it should be, what are those, tumbleweed, yeah, uh, yeah, timberweeds, thistleweeds, what, anyway, um, we used to chase them all the time when we were kids, and El Paso, and it's late again. So, just to roll with me. Um, Thank you so much, Anicia, for your love and prayers. It always helps. It always helps. So this breaking news of Joe Spencer. Joe Spencer, if you don't know who he is the defense attorney for Patrick Crusius in the Walmart mass shooting case. Patrick Crusius, I feel, has been part of a criminal network that turned their back on him and used him badly. Um, and I really feel that way because he has a severe mental health condition. It's not um, it's not a mental health sickness. It's a condition. And that's very important for people to understand. And when you watch all of his videos and you look at his pictures, and if you're an educator and you're trained in special education, um, you know, uh, then you absolutely see the signs of the autism. And that's not me. That is a lot of articles, and of course, the federal judge that in his ruling even said that Patrick Crusius had a severe mental health condition and needed treatment for that. And yet he's been kept 5 years across the street from the courthouse in isolation without even a mental health evaluation. And so that really goes against the federal court judge and the ruling that the federal court judge made that he should get mental health care. Um, so I think Madrano, what are the implications there? Madrano has not even abided by the federal court judge. And I don't know if that can be prosecuted too. This is what you have to do. You have to look at what they are doing wrong, because these are supposed to be the best of the best, right? These are educated lawyers. They're supposed to defend our Constitution, and yet, and that's why they're held to a higher standard. We have to hold them to a higher standard, because when they do something crooked, when they do something wrong, it it domino effects to the entire country, to the community that they serve, and the entire country. And that is why they are held to a higher standard. It's very important. They have a canon and they have rules of judicial conduct that they have to abide by. And lawyers know this, because it's the lawyers that strive to, some of them to be a judge, right? And they absolutely have to know it, because they expect the judges to abide by the rules of judicial conduct. And we see that we are kind of unhinged right now with these judges. And so Judge Madrano is not even listening to the federal court judge about Patrick Crusius and the whole Walmart mass shooting case, which Richard's case is part of that, right? Or I should say the Walmart mass shooting is part of Richard's case. It's yes. Yeah. So it's very, very important, since they are connected, to move that case forward. And what has happened now is, in the El Paso Times, there was an article, and the article is about another attorney making accusations and allegations against Joe Spencer for intimidation and interference in the 34th Judicial District Attorney's Office by orchestrating the replacement of District Attorney Yvonne Rosales in order to, this is the accusations, in order to, uh, sabotage uh, these high profile cases, be it the Walmart mass shooting case, be it Richard's investigation. Um, these are really, uh, you know, very, very strong allegations backed by evidence, she says, that she took audio of the incident to prove these allegations of intimidation, of the colluding, the conspiring together. And I have to use that word because that's what they did. They conspired together to replace District Attorney Yvonne Rosales because she was looking into the Walmart mass. Well, she wanted to put a date. She wanted a date, a court date on it. And then she had started an investigation into the El Paso Community Foundation. And why did she do that? Because of the Walmart victims' funds that were, not being given out properly. Allegedly, they weren't given out properly and they were misappropriated. And they were giving the money out to people that were not a victim of the Walmart mass shooting. And so that was Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia and others. They were looking into it. They were investigating. So they conspired together to replace Yvonne Rosales. And of course, it was all the COVID stuff. And I mean, can you think about it? You had Caleb Smither and Caleb Smithers case, and they're moving forward in Congress. But I believe his case is opened again. Please, Heather, tell me if I'm wrong, if I'm misunderstanding what's going on in your son's case. But if you don't remember Caleb Smither in January of 2020, he was found dead in his barracks in the 5th stage of decomposition. That means days and days, days and days in his barracks room, dead. That is just not following the standard operating procedure. There's no excuse for that. They are supposed to be checked on every day, every day. And these are our young people, and our young people, they're full of vim and vigor. They need to be checked on every day, every day, morning and night. These are our most valuable assets. This is not just a dorm room. This is where the American taxpayers pay for their training, pay for their wages. They are our future defense. And, for the NCOs and for the generals to be so negligent is a big deal. Is unexcusable. There's no excuse for it. So I'm really glad that that's going forth, and pray for that case. And of course, we had in April the death of Glendon Oakley Jr. in his barracks room on Fort Bliss. We also had Vanessa Guillen and that murder at Fort Hood, now Fort Cavazos. We had Enrique Roman Martinez, his head, and these are whistleblowers, okay? These are whistleblowers. I don't know what happened with Caleb, but I do know that Vanessa Guillen was a whistleblower. I do know that Glendon Oakley Jr. Was a whistleblower. I do know that Richard was a whistleblower. I, strongly, question Enrique Roman Martinez, because what in the world would cause somebody to cut his head off? I mean, literally hatchet his head off. And not only that, pull his hair out, gouge his eyes. I mean, he had to have been reporting on something. To me, you know, that investigation ended way, way too soon. And then, of course, you had Austin Hawke, who absolutely was a whistleblower, and he was also then murdered in his barracks room. And I don't even know if they're still using that building. I wouldn't, uh, I can't even imagine if they would use it, because I know things about the building. But anyway, so this is really an attack on whistleblowers in 2020. And with the COVID mandates, it was just absolutely, everything was intolerable. Everything was unreal, unreal, in chaos. It was unreal. And for Yvonne Rosales to be elected during that time and 2021, and knowing that she was trying to get a date for the Walmart, trying to function during that time, is really, you know, I just think, my goodness, Yvonne Rosales, please assert your rightful place, which is in that office, in the 34th Judicial District Attorney's Office. That's your rightful place. And, and not for you, not for your family. Well, maybe for your family. But this is for everyone that voted for you. Everyone that voted for you. This is for El Paso. And, so put everything else aside and take your rightful place. That's my message to Yvonne Rosales. Because, this election is just isn't right. It just isn't right. You can't just usurp the judicial office and then have an election. Just keep on pretending. We need to set things right, and it's very, very important. So, and to have Joe Spencer be accused of collaborating and conspiring to replace Yvonne Rosales is just with audio tapes. This attorney says she has audio tapes. So the future is looking bright, much brighter than that time. Things have changed. I think people have understood that the media cannot be trusted, that even our doctors cannot be trusted because of what happened during the whole COVID mandate. I mean, I feel that way. I feel like I have to discern on every little thing because we were so lied to. We were absolutely lied to. And there's so much evidence on it's not a little lie. This was crimes against humanity. Okay? This is the definition of crimes against humanity. I mean, to come after our children, right? Our children are suffering. You wouldn't believe the young people, and their mental health is not good compared to 5 years ago. They are, it's just really, really been stressful, everything that they've been put through. And then, of course, the economy and small businesses and families and marriages and everything. This was crimes against humanity. And not to mention the health of people. The health of people is not better. It's not better at all. And so I just, yeah, I think people are absolutely aware of that. And so I think I think that Yovan Rosales would get a lot of support to come back. And I understand that there is a big green machine and that there is a big corrupt machine within, as our, in our agencies and in our institutions. I understand that. We've been dealing with it for 4 years. But you know what? You have to stand up to the gates of hell. You stand up to them, right? Um, that's that's the only way. There is no other option, is to legally. And the nice thing about being Yvonne Rosales is that she knows the law. She knows the law way better than we do. And so she has the power to stand up against, because the law is so much stronger than these bullies. And, just, assert your power, uh, your rightful place as the district attorney for El Paso. I think that's really, really important. And for our son's case, too. And for Joe Spencer, he needs to be arrested. If these accusations and allegations are true and can be corroborated by the audio tapes, he absolutely needs to be arrested. So, um, that is huge. And Felix Valenzuela is his sidekick. Okay. That's his sidekick. And Felix Valenzuela has been riding his coattails. I did make a little meme, and I probably should have made a meme with Felix Valenzuela holding on to his coattails. Um, you know, uh, because they're up to no good, and they're up to no good in the Walmart case, and they're, of course, are not. They're up to no good in Richard's case. We have a lawyer from the Walmart case that is communicating, even along with the Jules, and even along with, that's the FitFam Army officer, and along with El Paso Matters Bob Moore. But I'm hearing that he's not even at El Paso Matters. I don't know. I think that he's been removed from El Paso Matters altogether. I really think so. I don't know. Um, Maybe not, but it looks like it. It looks like it. It's something to look into. But and rightfully so, because he is absolutely unethical. So Bob Moore, and this is another thing, is you can't be soft on these criminals. You absolutely cannot, because the damage that they have done is so huge, huge, that if the law says that they need to be prosecuted, then they need to be prosecuted, and no excuses, no excuses for them. So Bob Moore absolutely, was collaborating over there uh, with Justin and Underwood in our open records to replace Yvonne Rosales. So this is all coming together with, the Patrick Crucius, Joe Spencer, and then Bob Moore and Justin Underwood, and Felix Valenzuela. And then we have a Walmart lawyer, you know, communicating with Leilani Hart. Communicating with Leilani Hart, the prime suspect for murder in our son's case, with her son, Dallas Hart, who was Richard's platoon leader, also a prime suspect. And they kept trying to cover it up, that he's not the platoon leader, but he is. He is. And we have the evidence. So, it is, it really is a drama. It's a drama, um, a deadly one. And we are absolutely, the future looks bright, because these corrupt individuals, um, you know, it looks, they're being investigated. We have so many investigations going on. And, you can uh, say, oh, but they have support here. No, their support is really waning. And you can never, ever, ever give up, because look at this lawyer that came out and said the same things, um, that other people have said, that Joe Spencer is interfering, that he is intimidating. Um, so this has been such a gift. So you just have to be patient. The truth always comes out, and it will lead us to getting what we want, which is our son's remains. Our son's remains. And this notice of death that we received from him was huge, was really huge, because that allows us to do things, to get his remains that we wouldn't be able to do otherwise. So that was a huge decision, and we're very appreciative for it. So if you have any questions, I know I'm almost burning midnight oil, and we emailed, I don't know how many judges, about the amicus brief, and also the deans of the law schools, and of course, now with this new information, to the AG's office, um, and other agencies. It's, you have to respond, and you have to respond professionally, legally, to these agencies. And, we have a trillion, $3 trillion government, and they have to learn how to respond and defend justice, right? Defend the Constitution. So, okay, as you can tell, I am just here to give you good news. Good news today. That we're working hard. We have a lot of investigations, and we're making progress in getting accountability. So we want to thank you for your prayers. We want to thank you for sticking with us for so long, and we will be back tomorrow. Please share, please comment. I know I haven't talked about FitFam. I probably should do that. I got a little flash that I need to talk about FitFam. FitFam El Paso, you have to understand, this is the military. This is military and security, the security community that have secret clearance. This is very important for people to understand, because they participated in the smearing of a missing, murdered soldier that was a whistleblower, and ignoring the family to put up their side of the story, And when we found out who they were, that's when Jules Taganon Chan, he contacted us, and said, and was like, oh, I took it down. Now take what you have down. No, Chan, it doesn't work that way. Because now things have changed. You're not anonymous anymore. You're not in stealth anymore. You can take down your LinkedIn. You can try to hide, but you have been exposed. The curtain has been opened. And what we find is a huge problem of military officers and the security community and intelligence community with access to information behind the Real Fit Fam El Paso for profit. No, that is not okay. That is not okay. And then to participate with Bob Moore to, this is what they have. They have seemingly, if Bob Moore is going to put up his story there, uh, that seems like they have a licensing agreement. And I know that they have a licensing agreement with KTSM. And there are rules with those licensing agreements. And Bob Moore of El Paso Matters is supposed to be a 501c3. So there are a lot of rules in there that are broken. And there are a lot of laws broken with them having these security clearances and being stealth, anonymous behind the Real El Paso Fit Fam. Fit Fam El Paso. It's not okay what they did. And you can't put it back in a box. It's opened. And, we didn't mean to open it. We didn't even know. But because they breach security, breach trust, breach their creeds, right? They breach their oath. And they're over there participating in a smear of Richard's death story. That's sick. That's sick. And I don't mean cool by that. I mean that is criminal. And who knows what else they have done to who knows who else. Because we're hearing that Richard is just one of many, that they are extorters, that they're participating in extortion. Now, we didn't know any of this, and we haven't made those allegations of extortion to them. But their actions have caused this problem. Their actions, not my actions, their actions. And I think that is really, really important for everyone to understand. And you just can't put it back in a box. It's just like this whole thing with Joe Spencer. The truth is out. He intimidated. This is the accusations from a lawyer. He interfered. He intimidated. And we have additional proof of that. And so it is really snowballing because of this additional evidence that is now coming out of the wrongdoings, the unlawful actions of Joe Spencer and Felix Valenzuela and Justin Underwood and Thomas Hoffman and Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia. So it's a big deal. And that's why we've had to write to many judges. Many. Oh my gosh, so many. I'll have to count them up. Because I'm thinking it's over 20. Maybe more. So thank you so much for coming on, and please share, please comment, please like, and continue to pray. Thank you so much. God bless you. Bye-bye.